Hello, y'all. Hope you're all doing well. This is RJ, live here in Prince Anne County, here just south of Virginia Beach, Virginia, on the far southeast corner of the state of Virginia, sharing with you the progress and the update of this beautiful Confederate monument memorial that was cruelly, despicably removed from the county courthouse grounds there and from the old courthouse there in Prince Anne County. It was there for well over a century. This was placed there back in 1906. But due to the George Floyd issue that took place way up in the northern Union states, way up in the former Yankee states, they're having problems up there. There's not a Confederate monument with hundreds and hundreds of miles of that place, but for some reason, those left Mayo Marxists wanted to actually remove a memorial down here in the South. George Floyd had actually nothing to do with that. So right then, the county voted, right after that all happened, they voted to remove it and immediately put a ugly black tarp over that. That was just disgusting when I saw that. That's the last time I saw it on the county courthouse grounds, with a big, ugly black tarp, a big fence around it with no trespassing signs and everything else. It was disgusting that they would do that to a war memorial. I mean, how shallow and narrow-minded and pathetic do you have to be suddenly have to cover up a war memorial? Unbelievable. How shallow those freaking leftists are. Well, it was quickly, not too long afterwards, after they voted to remove it, just 2 days later, they disassembled it, threw it in storage. That's where it was for a couple years. It was there all the way up until about a year and a half ago, until it was finally found a new home here on this private property, here in this kind of rural area, kind of on the outskirts on the far south side of the county, kind of in this rural kind of residential area where everybody's in these spread out lots. You kind of got to know where to find this and where to see it. This memorial here has not been dedicated yet, but there has been tremendous improvements already since I was here last. I was last here a little over a year ago, just a few months after it was removed, brought here and relocated here and erected here. And there has been tremendous improvements. So it used to look like this, real thick shrubbery and trees and bushes all through here, and that's all been removed. They're planting grass through here. They're putting some bushes along the side. There's a new little memorial with names over here. So there's all this area, new gravel, new little parking spot right here, preparing for a dedication that they expect to maybe be later this year. And from what I heard, they're planning on putting a flagpole here too. That'd be awesome. Hope they do. But it was relocated here back in 2023, about a year and a half ago, and they're slowly making improvements on it. It is owned by the Shenandoah Valley National Battlefield Trust, which is interesting because, after all, this isn't anywhere close to Shenandoah Valley, but that is an organization that has been helping take care of memorials, and they haven't gone nearly as woke as most places. It's my favorite preservation society at this point. So the Shenandoah Valley actually owns it, helped erect it here, but it's the SCV and the UDC who help, and primarily the SCV who helps maintain it and are clearing it out and preparing this spot. As you see right here, the Prince Anne County Confederate Heroes. You see a symbol or the seal of Virginia on top there. In 1861, 1865 Virginia. And beautiful larger-than-life statue on top. When I first saw this, I thought there were plates that were added that were never returned, but no, when the removal, the crew that was dismantled this drilled these bolts into the side and added these, and so these are on all sides. These were used to remove the monument, and they have never been removed yet. I heard they tried, and it's very difficult. So you see the screws on all four sides. Those were used to remove the monument. See on the side here, it says erected in 1906. It's a little bit challenging to read, but you can see a little bit of an engraving there of the Confederate battle flag and the First National right up there. And there is, read them. But another thing that's been added, that's new since last time, and once again, this has not been dedicated yet. They're planning on doing that probably later this year. But this has been added also since I was here last. And I like what they've done. They've added the names of who is represented by this memorial. And look at all these names. 5th Virginia Cavalry, for example. On this side, the 6th Virginia Cavalry. Right here, the 15th Virginia Cavalry of 1862. All these names, you might recognize some of these. Some of these very likely could be your relatives, your ancestors. You might recognize some of those names if you've done your family tree or genealogy. It's a Grady's 2nd Company. Some more names right here. Here was the flag, liberty or death, Prince Anne Cavalry. And here's an image of where the monument, the memorial used to be. This is what it looked like a few years ago, at least 5 years ago. And here's where it's at now. When I was here last, a little over a year ago, by total chance, the delivery driver, like a UPS, pulled up with a package, and I was talking to the gentleman who owns this property. I was talking to him again today. Really nice gentleman who owns this property right here. And this is in like an easement, a perpetual easement forever. So no matter who owns this property, you should not be able to ever touch this memorial right here, this monument. But when we were talking, the UPS pulled up and there was a package, and we opened the package, and this was what this is what was in that package. And that is first erected at Prince Anne Courthouse in 1905. I think I misspoke. I think I said 1906, but it's 1905. Taken down July 2020, relocated November 2023. So that's what I was trying to remember, when in 2023. So this was placed here November 2023, not very long ago. So barely a year and a half, right? So they're getting ready. Once again, I heard they're planning on maybe having a flagpole. I'd love to see a Confederate battle flag flying right here. That'd be fantastic. They're still working on it, but as you can see here, this is all new since I was here a year ago. All those bushes are taken out, landscape this more. This memorial is all new right here. Put this new line of bushes over the side. So it's very impressive. Thank you to the SCV, everybody who helps maintain this, helps preserve it, helps protect it, helps look out for its interest. Huge loss for Prince Anne County. How disgusting. I would never want to serve in the military if I was from this county, just knowing how they treat their vets, their military. They just toss them out. They don't care. They're willing to bow down, bend over, be cowards to the whiny, complaining leftist out there. So I'll try to share an update later on at some point. I wanted to come by here a little earlier when it was a little better weather, but at least it's not raining like it's supposed to be tomorrow. So once again, here on the far south side of Virginia Beach, it's on the far south side of Prince Anne County. Here, south of Virginia Beach, which of course Virginia Beach is really close to where the Chesapeake Bay meets the Atlantic Ocean, which is really close to Norfolk on the far southeast corner of the state. Really pretty close to North Carolina state line right here. But glad to be able to share this with you because it's definitely unique to be able to place it right here. And at some point, I'm sure there'll be more visitors because as you come up the road right now, there are no trespassing signs. And I'm sure that'll change at some point. to encourage people to come here. They're at some point preparing it. I want to share this with you so you had an idea, that something to look forward to seeing at some point. I'm sure you'd love to be able to come by and pay respects to. So once again, from the Prince Anne County Confederate Heroes Memorial here on the south side of Prince Anne County, just south of Virginia Beach. Take care, y'all.